Oh, let me just stop.
Oh my god. Okay, go ahead. You gonna do it? Yeah.
Oh, who's there?
You know what? Do we even decide who's going to lead this thing?
Oh,
I didn't.
You think you know me? You think you know me?
Yeah, for
cornball
crap like that, you are definitely not leading. You, my dear, are going to lead. Go ahead, Russell.
Oh, I am. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to a UPR special tonight, where we will be talking about the top 5 wrestling factions overall. And I am not alone, as you can see. I am joined with EC himself, followed by bad guy Jack, and the head of the table, Mike.
Whoa.
That's what it says.
We're not starting off with bullshit, okay? We're not starting. We're not going to do is start off with bullshit, okay?
That's what it says.
You are not the head of
I am
the table.
the head. I'm the end all, the be all. I'm the alpha and the omega.
At the Christmas dinner table with your family, yes. But here, mofo, it is me.
And who has more social media followers, you or me?
Oh.
I gotta check.
I will crush you.
I gotta check on that.
I will crush you.
Oh my
goodness. I gotta check on that. Who is the man? That's me. That's what matters.
You see those belts?
We're not here to talk about this.
Like that? Are you a king?
I can Photoshop some shit. I mean, it's
Photoshop, motherfucker, please.
Look at you frozen.
Me like
that. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here to talk about 5 factions, our top 5 factions. Let's see who. What the fuck is this? Hold up. The fuck is this? What is this? What is this? You interrupt me to come up with bullshit? That's how we going? Charmaine, what happened?
I told you gotta keep an eye on Charmaine. She'll turn on you.
Hey, we're here to talk about our top 5 factions. It's going to be very controversial. People are going to hate us for this one, I guarantee it. But you know what? If you got something to say, I want to see it in the comments. Don't sit here and to be like, oh, you're wrong. Or who said some stupid shit. Ding dong, you're wrong. And you don't have an opinion of why you think your opinion is right, even though it's wrong because it's mine.
Can it be? Can I just at least say, give me an intelligent question, an intelligent response, not just a response like think about it before you tell me why I'm wrong, right? Because you don't agree, because it's not your favorite. You know what?
I'd still rather be the best in the world than head of the table, so I'll give you that. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about it. We're going to go through us, and we're going to say number 5. We're going to give a reason why we think they're number 5, all the way up to the first one. And you know what? I am so good at this. I'm doing it straight off the dome because I didn't even think about it. I just realized this whole freaking day, here's a spoiler alert, I was actually talking to these 2 clowns at the bottom like most of my damn work day. But I am here now, and we're going to talk about a wrestling doll who you can catch every single Friday on Friday Night Smackdown, UPR.
And occasionally on Raw.
And occasionally on most Raws. Could you?
Yeah, because EC can't do his damn job. But go ahead.
Wow. I heard something from somebody who doesn't know what he's talking about. That was you. So that's why
I
we're
already
not starting.
checked the social media list on Instagram, so I'll discuss that later with you two who has more followers. But anyways. All
right, go ahead, Wrestling Doll. Give us your number 5.
Okay, so my number 5 for wrestling faction, based on their year, I'm gonna go with basically on how it's been the last few months. They're an NXT pick. I'm gonna go with Imperium.
Ooh. Okay.
Imperium.
Yes.
So here's the thing. We're going to name all our 5, and then we're going to have rebuttals because I know there's going to be a rebuttal for your Imperium. Okay. Yeah, I know that. Look at Mike Knox's face down there. Ron,
he can give a rebuttal. I don't mind.
After everybody, so we can.
So I had when we were when it was we were gonna do this special and we were talking about top 5 faction. I was like, man, that's really a hard one because there's been so many great factions all along the line. And what's cool about this is everyone's opinion is different. Like the Wrestling Doll, you've been watching wrestling with for the last 6 months or so, right? So wrestling's kind of 9. I know Chris has been watching since the 60s. So I'm just saying we all come from a different point of watching wrestling. And
he's gonna kill you.
Bro, that sounds like a confession. So I'm gonna kick off number 5. I mean, this faction, this is groundbreaking stuff right here, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, just changed the whole fucking game. I mean, we would not have a Bullet Club without Aces and Eights. Like, this faction is in fucking, I am just bullshitting you, ladies and gentlemen. My number 5, I did not grow. I saw Mike, I saw you getting ready to say, nah, I'm about to leave. But number 5, I did not grow up with the Four Horsemen in the 80s. I've heard how great they were. I caught them in the late 90s, and Ric Flair was already 60. So when I caught Evolution, which is probably the closest thing to me that's like the Four Horsemen. That is my number 5. I remember, but I'll leave it at number 5, and now I guess I'll go any further. I don't want to take up too much time. But number 5 is Evolution.
Correct. And Mike.
I'm mad at Bad Guy Jack for doing that, and I'll tell you why in a second. I have an honorable mention, right, to go with what he says at number 5, and where I thought you were going, but you didn't go, and that's for me a team that gets no recognition. Shout out to Dice Man. All right, the Z is silent. All right, also part of UPR. Yes. For me, I gotta go with a stable that gets no recognition from out of TNA. Just an honorable mention, and that's the Main Event Mafia. Okay, it's an impact group. Look who's in that group. The champions of the group. You got Big Papa Pump. You got Kurt Angle. You got Booker T. You got Kevin Nash, and you got the icon Sting.
Yes,
but and that's where I thought you was going with that. But honestly, I'm mad that you picked that number 5, and I feel like I want to change it because my number 5, honestly, it was Evolution. It was 100% Evolution. And when you said 5, I was like. That's why I looked at you like that when you first said it. Because I'm like, damn, I had them, right? And I was trying to figure out where to put them at. For me, it was hard to put them where I put them at 5. And I'm like, well, they're not 4, right? I think they're just above the Hart Foundation because of all the championships in the group and what they did after that, as far as Randy and Batista becoming who they are,
and what they did for their career,
and then Ric Flair being an all-time great. That alone sets them apart of having to be that high. At least for me, someone put them higher. Like I said, honorable mention, I go Main Event Mafia, but at number 5, I'm with you. I'm going with Evolution, Chris. Who you got?
I have to say, that had been wrong. Only you would do something so juvenile. So I have to say, hey, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you like, love, and share this to all your wrestling timelines groups. That's important. Like, love, and share this, okay? And I want to hear everybody else's number 5 in here, and I'm going to go to.
We want to hear you guys in the chat. Come on, let us know.
I also have
got the crown.
I also have an honorable mention. I was going to throw it out there, but I'm glad Mike did it. But in my opinion, and this might cause a little controversy, but I don't care. I'm Chris, right? In my opinion,
the Spirit Squad
honorable mention is the Shield. I think the Shield definitely needs to be mentioned. I think the Shield definitely needs to be mentioned because they're a great faction that still has impact today. Yes. And there's no way I can't have a talk about factions and not mention the Shield, right? But my number 5, and it's so funny that it was mentioned because is from TNA, the Main Event Mafia. Main Event Mafia, I love that run. The initial incarnation with Sting and Kevin Nash and Booker T and Scott Steiner and Kurt Angle was, of course, you cannot find a greater 5-man tandem of talent. Not the NWO, not the Generation X, the greatest tandem of talent I've seen. And yeah, they were at the twilights of the career. Well, maybe not Sting. But at the same time, give them all the credit in the world. I love them, even in TNA, even though I did like TNA back in the day, but they still were not WWE. But Main Event Mafia definitely deserves to be mentioned. Let me go ahead before we start with the rebuttals and talk about some of the... So let me go ahead and go in and see some of these things I have right here. The King has arrived. You're not the King. The Ministry of Darkness, which is not a bad pick. Okay.
It is a bad pick. No one was a champion there but one person. It's a very bad pick.
No one's a champion inside the Ministry of Darkness but one person. That's true. But people still talk about the Ministry of Darkness to today. So it made an impact. So I can't sit here and say
I didn't say it made an impact, but it's not top. It's not even top 10 to me.
Okay, to you, that's fine. That's fair. I just don't think it's a bad pick. LAX. LAX.
To live and die.
Right. And the Shield has also been mentioned. Randy, Corey, and Ted. Who the fuck?
Who's that?
Spirit Squad. I don't know.
I thought there was 5 of them. I thought there was 5 of them.
Top 5 worst factions of all time. Spirit Squad will be in my list. I hated the Spirit Squad.
Oh, they were awful.
My top 5 factions, his honorable mention is the Main Event Mafia. Number 5 is Nexus, who I'm not a fan of. All right, Wrestling Doll, you ready for your rebuttals? Because you're going to have to defend. That's how we're going to do this, right? You ready to defend? We have 5 minutes to do this. You ready?
Okay.
You ready? It's morphin' time. All right. So,
Jordan, you're not a ranger.
I'm making fun of her background. So, you picked who?
I picked Imperium.
And we didn't. You know what? This is where we didn't tell you. Why did you pick Imperium?
because they work when it's just unfortunately I don't remember the other two gentlemen in the
One is Buzz
faction
Lightyear.
Walter.
Mhm.
However,
Hey,
seeing
wife.
them in the ring, they are very talented and they do bring a edge to their championship reign that they have had. But
Adam
also the fact that they have had someone who has had a championship for 3 years, retaining it undefeated up until this past year, losing it at NXT TakeOver. And when you have someone in a faction who can hold a belt for 3 years, you can't go wrong with them. But if people don't like them, people don't like them. I'm not the hugest Imperium fan, but I can give credit to where credit is due.
Okay.
All right. Anybody? The table's open up for rebuttals. Anybody want to challenge Wrestling Dog? She comes off fighting. She's feisty. She's
Here's
a
my
wrestler
thing,
too.
Wrestling
Go
Dog,
ahead.
and this is where I will let some of it be where it is, right? And that is your new ship to pro wrestling, right? And where a lot of us won't even have them sniff any list, right? Respectively, cannot. Your opinion is your opinion. You're entitled to it because that's what you like, and it's your list. Nobody can mess up your list. So,
Right.
actually, what I said don't even matter. But why I would rebuttal that is because no one knows who those guys are, and if no one knows you, you can't be an all-time great. That's the only problem I have with that. If you know what I mean, even me saying something as stupid as the Spirit Squad, at least we know who they were. You know what I'm saying? They're more popular than Imperium. That's my only problem with them being that high. I can see you saying, but we're talking not our top 5 favorites. This is top 5 factions. So that's just me. But I like the Pink Ranger in the background too. She signed it. So how you gonna hit on that?
It's not the Pink Ranger. It's Amber Nova. No, it's Pink Ranger. Is that Pink Ranger?
That's Pink Ranger.
It's Amber dressed as the Pink
Oh,
Ranger.
okay. I thought it was Amber Nova. Okay. All right. Go ahead. Ron, do you have a rebuttal for her?
No, I mean Imperium wouldn't make my top 5, but I mean they are great workers, but they wouldn't make my top 5.
Right.
Like the vehicle, it really was just meant for Walter. It was Walter and literally the group could have been called Walter and Friends.
My roommate so eloquently puts it, not the technician, my other one. He so eloquently puts it as the guys with their hands behind the back. That's all he knows it for. But one thing I'll say about Imperium, I love their music and I love their interest.
I hate that they remixed it. I'm sorry, I didn't cut you off. I hate that they remixed it.
No, that's fine. It's really good. I see those not clowns, but I see them like all the time downtown. Always try to pick up women. They're probably gonna beat my ass. All right, because they're not small guys at all. They're stiff in that ring. They're stiff.
Wow.
Barbara can attest to that. Barbara, you're number 4, please.
All right, so number 4, I'm gonna go with the Bloodline.
Ooh.
Can't disagree with that. Ron, you're number 4. Oh no, I'm sorry. Barb, why did you pick the Bloodline?
Well, either you love them or you hate them. And again, not my number ones, but whether the Usos are faces or heels, they do great in the ring. And Roman has had a very, very successful year and is going to have a successful year to come. Might be the Walter of the Bloodline and retain his title for maybe 3, 4, 5, 10 years. I don't know. But I think that they're all very talented. More so the Usos are more versatile in terms of being faces and heels. Roman's not a bad face. He just does better work as a heel, especially with the twist of firing his wise man. But I think they're pretty good. And I think they are a very deserving people to be in a top 5 faction for wrestling.
Okay.
Bad Guy Jackie, number 4.
So when it was coming down making this list, like I said, it was kind of hard. I was trying to think about, because there's been so many factions. But I would go with number 4, the 1997 version of the Hart Foundation. I really enjoyed that faction together. I think it really helped. Bret was never someone known as a mic guy. I picked them because, for one, I'm a huge Bret Hart fan, and 2, I think it helped out Bret also to kind of flesh out his character. He was never like the most charismatic and stuff like that. So him being paired with his brother and brother-in-laws, and Brian Pillman, who all have history, which just worked. I think it was just the chemistry was just it just worked and worked out really well. And I mean that one match that they had the match with Stone Cold Road Warrior against Stone Cold Road Warriors. I think it was Ken Shamrock and Goldust. Yeah, and just that reaction that they got. I mean, the stuff that Bret was doing, talking about America sucks. Talking about you can give something about Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is like the shitstorm or whatever. I forgot what he said. It was some funny thing that he said, but I really did like that. And there's this really cool picture that they take together and stuff. And I tell my friends we gotta recreate that picture. So the Hart Foundation #4, just because of the great chemistry that they have, and I think it helped out Brett big time.
Mike.
I'm gonna be a little different here. So for #4, I gotta put some tradition on this thing, right? And I don't think they go any higher. I think at one point they are the standard for being a faction. All right, there is nobody that you can put in this faction that was not good, even if they had a main 3 and a switch to 4, and that's easily the Four Horsemen for me at #4. They used to be #1 in my opinion. I mean, for rightful good reasons, being where they were, but like good music, like wine, things evolve.
See the mystical hand.
Drink on, all right?
The mystical hand just
in the Thanos hand over here.
Right, exactly.
Right. So
wait for the snap.
But no, it's the Four Horsemen: Ric Flair, Tully Blanchard, friend of the program, Barry Windham. You intersect anybody, and it is Arn Anderson. Even when Luger was in there, everybody but Paul Roma and Michael Mongo McMichaels. But other than that, Steve Mongo McMichael. Other than that, the Four Horsemen by far, like I said, without them, there is no factions. They are everything that a faction is supposed to be. It's just time has passed them by. You know what I mean? So I can't no longer put them #1. But when I think of top factions, I think Mount Rushmore. You can't have a Mount Rushmore without the Four Horsemen. So I had to put them in there.
Fair enough.
And my reasoning why, I just told you all my reasons why. Because without them, there is nothing else.
Okay.
No, I mean they were not.
No,
they were not.
I'll tell you why I'm laughing at. I'll tell you why I'm laughing at.
This
This is what you go. This you go. You go through all the reasons why, and then I'm about to go. You said I'm gonna tell you my reasons why. My reasons why is everything I just said. That's like, all right.
Well, I mean, he already said it. He can't say it again.
#4, in my opinion, is going to shock a lot of people. But I'm going to go ahead and give them the props. It's going to kill me to do it, but I'm going to give credit where credit is due. WWE is known for selling shirts, right? John Cena, Stone Cold Steve Austin. I mean, I see these shirts everywhere. You always see those little memes that say you run into a wrestling fan, you see someone on a wrestling shirt, all of a sudden y'all become best friends. Hey, did we just become best friends? WCW had a wrestling shirt that was on fire, and it was none other than the NWO shirt, which I still see today. Outside of that, there's one wrestling shirt that I see constantly all the time, and it always surprises me because it did not originate in WWE or WCW. And that is the Bullet Club. I have to give credit where credit is due to the Bullet Club because they have produced a lot. Without the Bullet Club, a lot of these wrestlers would not be as popular as the Young Bucks would not be as popular as they were if there wasn't a Bullet Club. Finn Balor would not be as popular as he was.
That's not the original Bullet Club, though. The Bucks ain't part of the original Bullet Club.
Your rebuttal doesn't come until after. Okay, so the Young Bucks wouldn't be as popular. Adam Cole, baby, would not be as popular without the Bullet Club. A lot of people got their start. He would not. A lot of people got their start. Turn your camera off. You're going to make faces at me, damn it, because it's not just hard for your rebuttal. A lot of wrestlers.
Adam Cole's in the Bullet Club.
Like me and Jack are. Jeez.
Adam Cole's in the Bullet Club.
Adam Cole was in the Bullet Club.
He was.
Where?
He wore a shirt. But he did. He wasn't. He really was.
Yeah,
he got kicked off. He got kicked off. He got kicked out of the group. He was
kicked out, but that's why he was with the lead and stuff like that. I'm telling you,
that's the connection.
The Bullet Club is responsible for a lot. I have to give credit to them. I never liked them. I still don't like them. But Finn Balor still represents him. When Shinsuke Nakamura, I'm sorry, not when Shinsuke. When Finn Balor and AJ Styles were both in WWE and Adam Cole was in NXT, everybody was hoping they would go at it because of the Bullet Club. Bullet Club was bigger than any faction, any company they were in at the time. They really were. And they still have a lot of presence even to this day. And yes, because they were able to sell Bullet Club shirts and whatever little gothic.
Hot Topic.
Hot Topic. I used to see that shirt a lot at different places, and I never understood how it could be because it wasn't WWE. So I have to give credit to the Bullet Club for the influence they had on pop culture. Now, we opened up the floor, first of all, for Wrestling Doll. We didn't do that for #5. Let me read some of these comments here. Let's see. My 5th was, I see the Nasty Boys. This is not a faction. Charmaine.
Oh, by the way, the one that Charmaine was talking about with Randy Orton was the Legacy. I just
the
checked.
Legacy. Okay, so the Legacy. I hated them. The Four Horsemen, New Day are the great goats. New Day are great, and they need to get some recognition. But I consider them more a top 10 tag team. But at the same time, if you say the Shield,
your horses, Vaughn. I got you.
Yeah.
You have to say, if you say the Shield, you have to say the New Day. So that's not a bad pick, Vaughn. That's the boys. My fifth was the Wyatt family, who was good too. I still remember Wyatt family versus Shield. And their first go around as a feud was great. Some of the best
I saw that match. That was good.
That was good. Vaughn's laughing. Four Horsemen are the pioneers. Now Chris is making sense. Talk about the Bullet Club. Bullet Club, Soldier Boy mean. Chris is right. A lot of today's success came from the Bullet Club. Adam Cole was in the Bullet Club, baby.
In May 2016, I checked.
It's hot topic.
They didn't say Adam Cole was in the Bullet Club, baby. But go ahead.
Yeah,
that's not what I read.
I said baby. Thank you very much. Wrestling Doll, your number 4 was who?
The Bloodline.
The Bloodline. Anybody has a rebuttal for Miss Wrestling Doll? I can't dispute that. I don't think they're a top. I really don't think they're a top. No. They should not be hired. They should not be hired. They're a good faction in today's wrestling, right? They're doing a good job in today's wrestling, but it's more Roman Reigns and the henchmen of Roman Reigns as opposed to
Roman Reigns and friends.
Basically.
So as much as I respect them and like them, I can't put them even in my top 10 factions, but that does not say I don't like the Bloodline. And Bloodline is a faction that people were clamoring for actually before they became even that faction.
Yeah.
So big respect to that. So I'm not disagreeing with it, but I see the problems where people could disagree with it. But still a solid pick. Not the best pick, but a solid pick. Bad guy, you got anything? And head of the table.
I really don't. I mean, I don't have any kind of rebuttal to us because, like, she's brand new to the whole,
wrestling
thing with wrestling. So I'm not gonna, when she sees them, these are the faction that caught her eye. So I really don't have no rebuttal. I mean, like, I would say, no, not my top, but I can get why you would pick them.
Yeah, better pick than Imperium.
Very good.
Better pick than Imperium. Imperium wasn't a good pick.
That's taken. It's fine.
Head of the table. Did you have a rebuttal?
Oh, you can't rebuttal that. Everything else is accurate.
Ron, who was your number 4?
I picked the Hart Foundation.
The Hart Foundation, and you mentioned the Canadian Stampede. I remember that very vividly because I watched that. I was like, wow, this is an amazing time. They came out individually. They got such a huge pop. Next person got a bigger pop than the last one, and they had a huge pop. You only get those kind of pops nowadays. It was great. And I love the fact that they went in there as the heels, but for the Canadian crowd, they were the baby faces, and the faces were the actual heels. And I always, to this day, respected the fact that they did that. This is my favorite period of Bret Hart. So what I'm going to say is also a shock you. I actually thought that was a good pick. The Hart Foundation, and still to this day, is very well known, right? AEW is still trying to capitalize money off of it. That's what they did. It's Owen Hart bullshit that they're doing. I don't agree with that. I don't. I think the Owen Hart thing should be WWE because that's where he wrestled for over 10 to 12 years, right? He passed away. Let it go to that point of everything, the controversy behind it.
Yeah, that's the wife. WWE. That's the wife.
I know it's the wife. I think AEW trying to capitalize off of that is a little disrespectful. Not only are they trying to capitalize that off of one episode, they're doing it for like almost a whole half year. Like, come on, like really? That's what you're doing? But okay. So good pick number 4. Mike, who's your number 4?
No, I would rebuttal that.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
A little bit as far as I literally have on my arm the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be, literally tattooed on my body. I couldn't put them that high, that faction, because at that time, everybody wasn't producing in the ring like that. You know what I mean? No, you know what? It ain't even that. I'm wrong even saying that shit. That's a great fucking pick. I just wouldn't have it that high. That's my only rebuttal.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean?
That's cool.
That's I'd be lying if I say anything bad about it.
I agree with it. Mike, you hit it right on the head. I agree with that. I would not have that high, but it was a good pick. And to answer Charmaine's question, what's the name of the group with the Goof Fighter? That was the Right to Censor, who's also in my top 5 worst factions.
Oh, I thought Right to Censor is very underrated.
Mitt joins UPR.
Ooh, really?
They were good. They were good. To piggyback, and then y'all can rebut me, but they were good heat magnets, in my opinion.
Yeah, they was.
But I won't say they were a good faction. That's all I'm saying. But they were definitely good heat, especially Ivory. Shout out to Ivory. Good heat magnet. She knows how to make a crowd boo her, and that's why I'm a big fan of Vicky Guerrero, because Vicky Guerrero knows. I don't think AEW uses her well enough. She in 2000 and what?
12, 11,
7, 8, 9. She was the most hated thing in wrestling by far. She would have people boo like crazy.
Friend of the program. Check out my interview with Vicky Guerrero on my YouTube page.
Love Vicky Guerrero. Big fan of Vicky.
Download the podcast and listen to it.
Anybody have an issue with the Bullet Club?
I do, but my number 4, I guess, was the Horseman. You skipped me. No rebuttals for the Horseman. Okay,
I have
good.
no rebuttal for
All right, good.
No, because you have a valid point. I mean, Horseman wouldn't make my list because I just missed that era. But everything you said was on point. Like
you can't argue with it.
Yeah, you can't. It's hard to argue with it. It's like they're almost like the first faction ever. They're the first stable. I mean,
This
people.
still means something.
While I still like to do this, I see people kind of still bust this out every now and then.
This and this are
three most phenomenal factions. Yeah.
Iconic.
They transcend time.
I definitely would pick on yours.
Honestly, we'll talk
I would
more
pick on your
about this
Bullet
later,
Club though.
And this, but this right here got so many people in trouble in school.
Oh my God, yes.
Plenty of times.
Yeah.
Well, at work.
People still do this.
Doing that to people's wives. What?
Right.
Suck it. You know what I'm saying?
You know, that's just how it is.
But no, I can't see. I got all kind of problems with the Bullet Club being that high. And not that they're not a good faction. Okay. As I sat here and I waited anxiously, patiently, and thinking about the people that were in that group, being the one person you didn't name that should get more credit than any of them, and that is AJ Styles. That actually made that group, put that group on the map. Not that he was there first, but he put that group on the fucking map. Was AJ Styles. But just in the scheme of all the great things in the existing, they wouldn't even sniff it. They don't even sniff it. They don't even sniff the Heenan family. They don't even sniff the beating of varsity. But I guess I would put them above the varsity club. But damn, maybe top 10. Top 10, yes, but top 4? Ugh. I can't see it. That's all. I it's not enough time in the show to have this that much.
Core, no. You can't talk about faction without talking to Horsemen, and that's true. One thing Mike said, I completely agree with. If it was not the Four Horsemen, you would not see as many factions. AEW.
And Vaughn, I text you today. Text me back.
APA is not a faction. Just because they had Jackie in their group for a while does not mean they're a faction. I'm sorry. Four Horsemen, the Bullet Club, Nation of Domination. Might hear it later. I also saw a main event, Nexus, NWO.
Ooh. You put that up already.
Yeah, I didn't read everything because he went all completely. Okay, Barb, number 3.
So number 3, they were mentioned in the comments, and I know you don't think of them as a faction, but I do. They've all worked well together. I gotta go with the New Day.
Okay.
I mean, a group that has a faction that has 11-time tag team champions and who work well together. And even though not all of them are officially all have held a world title on their own individually, can eventually happen in the future one day. But I do see them as a respectable, talented faction.
Bad guy.
Oh man, number 3. I was thinking about my list, and it's funny because they're back together again. But all I'm just gonna say is my pick is Undisputed. I gotta go with the Undisputed Era. I mean, what they did for NXT. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm trying to find the words. I really enjoyed their act that they had for NXT. What they did, what they created. All of them holding the championship. Like, maybe Evolution should have went a little higher than them because Evolution kind of created that formula of. They have all the gold and doing all that, and something that they did.
The Horsemen induced that. Introduced that formula. Sorry.
No, I apologize for disrespecting Mr. Horseman. But the Undisputed Era, I really enjoyed their run and everything that they did. So I don't have all the words to put it, but number 3 is Undisputed Era. Oh, it's your turn, Mike. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, so it was weird. Everyone was just breathing.
No, his eyes is moving. Okay. All right. I'm a cheat. All right.
I did that too.
I could do that when you're the head of the table. And I'm going to go with number 3, those guys behind you on that wall with the NWO. And I'm going to go DX simultaneously at number 3. I could not find a way to not get them all in here, but I don't think they're going to hire for me no longer in the higher anarchy of the stable list. And I know it's a very unpopular list. Everybody normally would have those guys 1 and 2, like you normally would have Jordan and LeBron 1 and 2, but some people put in Kobe, right? So for me, it's the NWO. I mean, what they did at the time they did it was groundbreaking. We thought.
Who's your number 3?
You didn't hear nothing I said? I have them both there, NWO and DX simultaneously at number 3.
Okay.
I said I was cheating because I had to get them all in there, and I couldn't put them up any higher any longer.
Yeah,
so what I believe they've done.
Squeeze them in.
So I have them both there. As I was saying, the NWO, I mean, God knows, look at everything they've done, right? To me, they have two black eyes on the sport of professional wrestling. One is the finger poke of doom, okay? And number two is they kind of ruined professional wrestling with the contracts and the behind the scenes things that we find out later on what they did. Number three will be DX because, and I'm talking about the original, not the original DX, but my guy, Shawn Michaels. Okay. Once Michaels got, left for drugs and rehabilitation and everything like that, what Triple H, X-Pac, and the Road Dogg and Jesse James were able to do was just insane. It was funny. Like, never can a black man see blackface being made fun of and still laugh. Never in my life ever did it. I looked at it like, damn, that's wrong. But Jesus, that's some funny shit. You know what I mean? Like, DX was just who they were, right? I mean, if you want to throw in Shawn Michaels, go right ahead with them and China them. There's just those two factions, paved the way for everything that's still going in professional wrestling today. So, and rest in peace, Rick Rude. Good point, Charmaine. Absolutely. Only member to be a member, with X-Pac, the only one being a part of both of them.
X-Pac.
No, actually, Shawn Michaels
was part of
because
both of them.
WWE did that bullshit, but yeah. Who you got number three?
But I don't even really count.
My number three was actually mentioned earlier, so I'm not going to go too much into it because I think it was very well said earlier by Mike Knox. But my number three has to be the Four Horsemen. And I think my top three is pretty much going to be the standard top three. But when you think about it, I got to really well, that's pretty much it, but definitely the Four Horsemen. I mean, Mike said it. I said it earlier. Like, without Four Horsemen, there's not really that many factions that's going to happen. They created, in my opinion, the blueprint of how a faction is supposed to be. So my number three is the Four Horsemen. Barb, your number three was who? New Day?
Yes.
Like I said, I consider it more to be a tag team. However, it's not a bad pick because in this day and age for a group faction tag team to be together that long as they have been is remarkable, right? And they start off as heels, and I thought they were great heels. I did not even want them to turn face, but they became a face. And even though a lot of people say they should break up, every time I even thought that, they would have a skit or something, and I would laugh. I'm like, these are the reasons why they're still here. They're still super popular. They're still really together. Even though Big E's on Raw and the other two on SmackDown, they still represent each other very well. And you can see their chemistry on and off screen. So I can't say I disagree. Once again, I would have picked them, but still a very solid pick. And their match they had against The Shield when it was New Day versus The Shield in 2017 Survivor Series, in my opinion, was one of the best matches on that card and one of the
best matches of all time.
It was a very entertaining match. Shields had two good matches with two good
factions.
Some people might say through Evolution. I wasn't too big of a fan of that match, but definitely the one with the Wyatt family and definitely one with the New Day. I was a huge
Evolution fan. And Shield, hands down. Woo! But
I wasn't too fan.
I have a rebuttal with Bad Guy Jack though. Definitely can't go against the New Day.
Oh no, let somebody else say something. I won't go. Did somebody else?
I nothing against the New Day. Okay. I have nothing against what you said.
All right, go ahead.
100% Grustin Dog. Good fucking pick. Jack, what the fuck? Okay, and I'm gonna look at you. What the fuck? The Undisputed Era, my guy, at number 3 of all time. I get you millennials like to only not go back and do your homework, but putting them that high is just disrespecting the culture that you love called professional wrestling entertainment. That's all I'm gonna say. I love Undisputed Era. But as I said with her with Imperium, and I hate to say this, but I always gotta
Are you taking a shit?
Nobody knows who the hell they are. They were in NXT.
They watch NXT.
They were in NXT. It's not WWE. It's a pimple on a donkey's ass.
Ouch! I love NXT.
That's really uncomfortable. I mean, I can get what you mean by all that. I totally understand that. When I was formulating this list and when I was making this list, I was like, where do I place this? Where do I place that? But Undisputed Era, I mean, I speak for myself. I don't speak for the wrestling community because, I like what I like. And these guys were entertaining. These guys just did it for me. I mean, I think they were one of the best acts in NXT. I thought they had a great run. And I'm not sorry. I'm not fucking sorry. I'm not sorry. That's not much I just said. So I guess I'm that uncomfortable pimple on a donkey's ass. But you know what? Well, no, that's actually terrible.
He used Mike's words, okay? So don't make that face.
I'm so much better than that. But I really just thought what Undisputed Era did was
Merry Christmas.
Great. Yes. Merry Christmas. Oh, we're sending that to Charmaine. Hey.
Yes. Thank you, Charmaine. And Happy New Year.
So I actually have a rebuttal for the Undisputed Era too, because Ron, I don't agree with that pick at all. But
that's fine.
the impact of the Undisputed Era, because that's what I'm about. Are they impactful, or are we going to think about in 5 years from now? We're going to think about 10 years from now. When they break up, are people going to want them to get back together just for some kind of reunion, something like that?
Yeah.
You can't say that would never happen in Undisputed Era. Now, granted, I said it. I think I talked to you about it earlier today, Ron. Like, Undisputed Era dominated NXT for years, right? Yep. And then I saw the writing, I was like, hey, they're actually getting stale. They are getting stale. Right, and people like they should go to Raw, they should go to SmackDown. I say, well, are they going to work on Raw, SmackDown? Because unfortunately, NXT is an indie darling product of the WWE, and you can't put the Undisputed Era against the Bloodline and think that's going to end well, or even a Hurt Business and think that's going to end well. Because even if they can get past Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander, you have Bobby Lashley right there, and Bobby Lashley will crush any of them. Roman Reigns will crush any of them. I even said, I remember when Undisputed was getting somewhat stale, but they were still hot. Drew McIntyre was that guy. I said they're going to show up. And Drew McIntyre is just going to kick. Claymore kick all of them. You know what I'm saying? Even though Adam Cole could put on a great match, it's when you're on the main stream like that against somebody like Drew McIntyre, the casual wrestling fans are going to be like, they're not going to believe an Adam Cole baby is going to be the Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre is too talented and too big. Brock Lesnar, come on. You see what he did to the male nurses on Sami Zayn? That's I would have been the Undisputed Era, right? But AEW is a different animal. AEW is a different beast. So now that they show up at AEW, they create a buzz. They create an impact, and it looks like they're a huge deal because they came from NXT and what they did at NXT. And you know they could do that at AEW because AEW right now, your biggest guy is Heyman Adam Page. I'm sorry.
No, isn't it Luchasaurus?
All I'm saying is
I hate that I said those exact same words also. You must be a doubly clone to me, but this means you're great and smart and an intelligent wrestling fan. I love it.
So I see what you're saying, Ron. I disagree, but I see what you're saying, and I can see why you said that because they are impactful. Mike Knox, your number 3 was a tie between the NWO and DX. I think that is cheating, but we're going to go ahead with it. Only thing I can say is it could possibly be a bit low for most people, but 3 is still a high number. And who really could argue with the NWO and DX? Let's just be real. NWO and DX were at the height of wrestling popularity, period. I have no rebuttals.
Even to the point where people still try to mimic them.
Exactly.
Absolutely right.
They still try to do it. My only thing is I would have put
this whole thing is NWO.
Absolutely. Where do you think the Bullet Club got that from?
Yeah,
we thought they just dig up their ass and came up with that. No, it came from the NWO. So
NWO Wolfpack.
NWO. So I mean, only thing I would have
Undisputed Era. You got people who agree with you, Mint and Patel.
No, he's just putting up. He's putting up what we said.
Oh, that's what
he's not agreeing.
Yeah, that's not.
I think he's agreeing. Rick Rude was in DX. Shield versus Evolution. It's better than Shield versus Wyatt family. In his opinion, that's your opinion. That's fine. Even I would never put Undisputed Era in the top 3. Okay. Kane and The Undertaker, the Shield over Undisputed Era. Once again, that's your opinion. Evolution over the Undisputed Era. I wish UPR Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Same to you. NK Patel says number 2 is Evolution. We didn't get to number 2 yet. Port NWO Wolfpack again. Puerto Rico Princess want to beat somebody's head in to talk about Wolfpack. I agree with Chris. My daughter said hi, hugs and kisses. Let's go ahead to our number 2, Barb.
Well, I gotta bring in some ladies into this list because
please don't say Toxic Attraction.
I'm not gonna say Toxic Attraction.
Because I saw somebody said that earlier. I'm like, come on. And that's one of the reasons why I love NXT, but no.
I am not Steven who would put them at number 1. Okay. But
this is true.
Like the Four Horsemen who have paved the way for factions. I wouldn't say they paved the way for factions per se, but they have paved the way for singles wrestling, and I had to go with the Four Horsewomen.
Oh. Wow.
Okay. I don't really consider them a faction, right? More like the clique is backstage or
yes, no, I get that, but they have worked together well.
Okay.
They're all multi-time champions.
Okay.
And a lot of people look up to them. And we did have a special on them, so
we did,
which you can watch in the archives.
Actually, yeah, you can watch in the archives. Our last special was about the Four Horsemen. Ron, who's your number 2?
Okay, because I feel like I have to do some stuff of redeeming here. But even if I can't redeem it, I don't give a fuck. So my number 2, putting this list together, and I was like, man, what do I got here? One, I'm sadly out of Fireball, but whatever, right? But my number 2,
I wonder why.
Chris. So number 2, I gotta go with the Shield, man. Like the Shield, what these guys
Sierra.
have, huh?
Hotel, India, Echo.
Yes,
Lima,
please. No,
Delta.
I was
Shield.
gonna wear this whole thing, but I didn't have time to put it on. Got it off Amazon some time back. But with the Shield, the run that they had, and it was a short run. It really wasn't a long run. They had that first initial run. What was it from? 2012 to 14, and then they reunited, and then it was like on and off, on and off, on and off, and all 3 men very successful. All 3 men. I mean, I pretty much like they all held every piece of gold that they can get their hands on. I mean, just a great faction. I mean, even now that people still want to see them get back together. John Moxley, he's in AEW, but they're like, nah, don't worry, he'll be back. He's gonna be back for that Shield reunion. So I gotta go with number 2. Just the impact that these guys had and how protected they were. They were really protected. I forget the long run that they had, like that run where they were not defeated for a long period of time.
They were undefeated for the first 6 months of their wrestling careers.
To the point where
they lost on a random Smackdown.
Daniel Bryan made him. Daniel Bryan made him tap, and it was so big. Lily Garcia had to say the Shield have lost their first. I mean, it was such a big deal, and the 6-man tags that these guys were having. I mean, those were some fun matches. Those were the kind of, if I'm a wrestler, obviously I want to be on my own, but seeing the kind of 6-mans that they had, I would want to be a part of that. I would want to be a part of that. So I gotta go with number 2. I gotta go with the Shield.
All right, Mike.
Number 2, the Shield. So I was back there.
Mike, what are you doing?
I can't.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
My number 2, yo. I'm pissed.
Jack, it's not Tuesday. You don't have to yell.
He snatched my 5. He snatched my 2, which means he's an intelligent wrestling fan. But I'm gonna take a little step further and why I have them above the Four Horsemen, why I have them above the NWO and the DX.
And the DX.
I say and DX, but maybe
I'm sorry. No, I've been drinking. Don't mind me.
Me too. So I might have said it.
Twinning.
I think when Michael Jackson wouldn't be Michael Jackson if there weren't things that came before him that helped him pave the way.
Absolutely.
Right? Everybody has paved the way for them, right? Yep. And I just think we're looking at modern day wrestling. We're looking at things that are going to be surpassed today. Now, as far as merchandise is being concerned, they're number 3 in this list, maybe number 4 in this list because they're not more probably NWO and DX. They're just there. Right, they might have outsold the Horsemen because of wrestling hits more people now and the WWE side of it and overseas and things like that. But I just thought, from a perspective of being professional wrestlers, all 3 guys, champions, right? And all those other factions, other than Evolution, you can't say that. Horsemen, you can't say that. And DX, you could, but not at the time, right? Matter of fact, no, you can't say that about DX because Billy Gunn never was world champion and other guys. X-Pac never world champion and other guys. All 3 members of the show were world champions. All 3 guys of the show sold merchandise. All 3 guys were entertaining. It's just they were today's wrestling.
Yeah.
Was the Shield. And you follow those guys from FCW. You follow those guys that, you know, when you do get, I was a Moxley guy from CZW. Okay, that's not many indie guys I ever followed. Him, Prince DeVitt, American Dragon, Giant Dance was one. There were 3 guys that I followed along with Charlie Haas to this level. I just think the Shield in the matches they had. I don't care. You can pick Riot Family. You can pick Evolution. You can pick the New Day. They were just that damn good. Shield number 2 for me all the way. It's just without question. Roman Reigns will go down in history as one of the top 5 biggest wrestlers of all time in the WWE.
You said top 5?
Top 5, top 6 wrestlers of all time in that company. And I'm gonna say this: that again, Ben feelings. It's not about your feelings; it's about reality. He's a bigger wrestler than Randy Orton. He's not John Cena. He's not. He's right there underneath Cena, Hogan. I said his name. Fuck. HH. Those guys. He's like right underneath Taker, and in their eyes, in their world, he's above Kurt Angle. I didn't say I like him better. I didn't say he's a better wrestler than Kurt Angle. We're talking about stars. People got to understand things. There's a reason why Kenny Omega didn't do it for AEW because he's not a star. You okay? You got to have stars, and Roman Reigns is a bona fide fucking superstar, and Seth Rollins is a bona fide fucking superstar. So that's me.
My number 2 is going to be. Take a guess. The New World Order. They changed the
World Order
perception of wrestling. We talk about Four Horsemen, how they wrote the blueprint for faction. When Hulk Hogan came out, or HH as you call it, came out, and he turned on WCW. He told everybody to stick it, and then when Hall and Nash came out first,
that's that picture right there behind you.
HH. When all that happened, and then the next person came out, they started using real names, and they started like dropping all the kind of characters of all these wrestlers. They changed the game forever. They did, right? They changed the game too. I was in high school at the time where every day we were talking about what happened on Nitro and with the NWO. I was still a WWE guy, but we were talking about what happened with NWO because they were cool. And they wrote the definition of wrestling being cool. Yeah. And without the NWO, I don't think wrestling would have gotten so successful, nor would WWE have created the ever-beloved Attitude Era, which became so mainstream popular into pop culture. All that is because of the NWO. Now, the faction got way too big, and it went on way too long, but it's the NWO, and that's a faction that will never, ever, ever be duplicated. Barbara, you said your number 2 was the Four Horsewomen. I already told you what I believe about that. I see why you said it. I don't really consider them a wrestling faction, but I see why you said it, so I don't really have much of a rebuttal. Bad Guy Jack, did you have anything? Mike Knox.
I can't play the nice guy. They're not a faction. That can't even count. They've never ever participated or been recognized. It's like when the New Day say, "Are you even a tag team?" Omos and AJ Styles. Did you guys sign your papers? The Four Horsemen were great. They're the clique. They're the backstage. Everything that what they are, what we know in real life because of groups like the NWO. But they were never a faction. They never even wrestled together. They never even came out as a faction. The only picture you got together as a faction is one backstage picture of them doing the Four Horsemen sign. Like they've never ever was considered a faction. That's only So I don't know. I can't. That Imperium beats them because Imperium was a faction. That's all.
Bad Guy Jack and Mike Knox both had the Shield. They were my honorable mention, but I can't say anything negative about the Shield. You all are completely correct on that. The Shield still also talk about to this day. Too. Remember when Jon Moxley left for AEW and how many goodbyes they had to have because they knew the impact of it. Shield got back, broke up and got back together so many times, even when Seth Rollins got to be almost on the same level as Roman Reigns, right? Dean Ambrose was super over at the time. It's once again, I hate to use the word, shout out to TNA, but the impact of this faction is going to be lived for quite some time. The only reason how come a lot of people want Jon Moxley to go back to being Dean Ambrose, let's be real, is for the Shield to get back together, even if it's just for 1 or 2 nights, because the Shield will always be big. When I worked at my Harris Teeter grocery store back in DC, me and my other 2 wrestling friends used to call ourselves the Shield because we loved them that much. Okay, shout out to the Shield. Great to see those 2 were.
I just wanted to say, I have to throw this out here. You said how cool the Shield was. This is the only faction that made walking down the stairs so fucking cool. Like when I would walk down, when you would walk down.
That's Christian,
huh?
That's Christian walked through the crowd.
Yeah, right, but it wasn't the same as the Shield. It was, I mean, like I'll say this. I went to the Barclays Center. I don't know why I was there. I was just invited, right? I don't know. I was just there. So me and a friend, right? We were walking, and as we were walking down, we said, no, we're doing this wrong. And because we're a bunch of nerds, right? We did it wrong. And we had to play Sierra, Hotel, India, Lima, Delta, Shield. And then we walked down the stairs because it just felt right. And then people had to go around us. So, I mean, this faction was one of the more recently well-done factions because factions these days are just, like someone just mentioned, you remember Leagues of Legends. It was Leagues of Nations.
Which I thought had potential as fuck. I'm sorry. I thought
they
that was
should have had more potential.
You had from the talent standpoint, you got to think about what that faction had in it, Jack.
Right.
You had
right. No,
Rusev,
I get you.
You had
Sheamus.
You had Alberto Del Rio, right?
And Wade Barrett,
and Wade Barrett from 4 different countries, which are all on top of the game. They didn't do enough with that tag team, with that faction. That faction,
I agree.
Super potential. God, my only thing is about this when it comes to the Shield and people wanting them back now. And the words, because these are not my words, these are Nietzsche's words. Wrestling fans are fickle.
Yeah.
Because you some bitches was all booing the Shield because y'all still all hated Roman Reigns. I've been a Roman Reigns fan from day fucking one. FCW through a face Roman, heel Roman. Guess what, y'all? In my opinion, it's the same goddamn Roman. Y'all just didn't get to see y'all just didn't want to let him come out. Can he come out and play now? He's playing now. Now y'all want to love him. And if he didn't have Paul Heyman, which y'all even fucking love Roman Reigns.
I will say you are absolutely right when you put him down as possibly number 6 or 5 or something of him being one of the greatest of all time as far as WWE guys are in their eyes. Because if you think, I said plenty of times, in my opinion, Roman Reigns has the most entertaining world championship run I have ever seen. Single championship run. People are like, oh, what about Stone Cold? You put all Stone Colds together, maybe. But I'm talking about name one of his single championship runs that was more entertaining than Roman Reigns' current world championship run that's been going on for a year and almost a half. And still,
Austin was a great chaser. He was a great chaser, and he wasn't. I'm not saying he was like a good champion because he's Austin, but he was way better trying to.
The money was in the chase.
The money was in the chase. The heels are usually the better champions. Now John Cena had a pretty good babyface run also, but realistically speaking, nothing has ever touched Roman Reigns. I'm about to go into this, but before I do that, does anybody want to rebut NWO anyway?
No, how can you? What the fuck? You smack me now.
Ronald P. Jackson, who's your Mount Rushmore? Don't answer that right now. EC together with WCW. Number 2, the Inner Circle. No.
Oh, maybe that's his. Maybe that is his list. Huh?
These cheerleader men is so funny.
It's more like entertainment on the vlog side, but ring-wise, not my favorite.
They're not it. Chris Harris' favorite faction, the Forgotten Sons. Ha. Remember the match when they had Cody and Dustin when their jobs on the line? That was a great moment on Raw. Mm-hmm. Really good time.
No, that was a pay-per-view.
No, it was a Raw. I got Shield at number 2, the Dark Order. Roman was stealing people's wives when he was in the Shield back then. Huge statement, Knox. That's about Roman Reigns. Akeem and the Big Boss Man. What is the name of that group? The Towers of something.
Yeah, but that was a tag team though.
Right, it was a tag team. Roman Reigns left CM Punk in the dust. My number 1 are the NWO. NWO changed the game by adding 1,000 people in their fashion. The string with the NWO black and white of red and black or both. He was with the black and red. He was with the
Wolfpack.
Yeah, I had to read it. 4 Horsemen don't count. Remember the League of Legends. That game was awful. When Roman said that he got cancer, Seth and Dean hug him. Okay. Rusev, Alberto Del Rio, Barrett, and Sheamus. What about the Wyatt family? Wyatt family, shout out to them. Titles. They're not in my top 10. They never did win titles except for at the end where Randy and they did that thing. But I will give a lot. They were always found Wyatt family to be very entertaining, but they're not in my top 10. But they were very impactful. Don't get me wrong; they were very impactful. I love.
You couldn't have the Shield without the Wyatt family.
I love.
I was gonna say they were kind of like on that thing.
I would go one better. People didn't like me for this one, but I actually enjoyed their feud with the New Day.
That too. That too.
They are number 5. Chris Harris, Sanity. You're insane. Drew was on tag team. I forgot his name. Drew was with the 3MB.
Yeah.
Are y'all just
I had my Drew McIntyre shirt on earlier today because I actually had the Chosen One shirt.
Roman Reigns is legendary. Everybody hate Roman when he came out number 30 in the Rumble. Never forget. Can't forget. Seth Rollins. 15. Austin was at his best changing the title, which is we just said that. Can the Bloodline be considered a faction? I think they can be.
Yeah, it's 3 of them.
Yeah.
And that was pay-per-view, Chris. No, that was Raw.
What, when they won their jobs back?
Yes, that was Raw.
That was a pay-per-view with Dusty. Yeah, and Dusty Rhodes interfered. I bet you money on that, my friend. I bet you pay-per-view. That was a pay-per-view.
That was Raw.
That was pay-per-view.
What are we talking about?
Hey, King Von Jr., can you look that up there?
Yeah. I kid you not, Chris. It's okay to be wrong sometimes.
I'm ready to get
Which one are we talking about?
I got a white ball shining in the back room. Can we get the number 1?
Well, we're number 1 right now, and number 1 for Wrestling Doll. Go ahead.
Okay, number 1. So based on all the matches that I've seen and everything that has caught my eye, one faction that has caught my eye and it stood out to me was mentioned in the comments, and it has to be the Hurt Business.
Bum, 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 bum.
I'm glad you played that music and I looked at Mike's face.
Now.
Look at him down there. I was like, oh my God. Okay. Ron, who's your number 1?
Oh man, the only way I gotta no, it's bum 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 bum.
It was funny.
You guys are horrible.
But I gotta when you did that, I looked at Mike's face.
So, all right, let me get
that might have been the greatest thing I've seen all day. All right, go ahead, Ron. I'm
so
sorry.
I'm going to break it down. I'm going to break it down really easily. I got to go with. I got to break it down. I got to go with the NWO. I mean, you guys. One of you guys already said it. Talked about the NWO. Was there to say? I feel like DX was created just
on Raw.
Huh?
Vaughn's right. Chris was right. I'm sorry. It was on Raw. King Vaughn knows his shit. He Googles it.
My bad. I stand corrected.
I know my
good
shit
job,
because
Chris.
I don't have to Google.
Well, he knew. He probably
like-
had to Google it. I was just saying it.
I like how he did that. All right,
Yeah.
good job, Mr. Fine. But I gotta say, but I gotta go with the NWO. I mean, I feel like DX was created because of that. And even when one of you guys mentioned Bullet Club, yeah, it's NWO. It's just NWO 2000 or what? No, 2000. Whatever you get. It's
NWO Japan.
Yeah, NWO Japan.
They had,
Two Japan.
Which
two.
they had, right? They had
Yeah, they were two. And I mean, these guys sold a bunch of shirts. I get the thing. They had too many members, too many spin-offs. NWO Red and Black, LWO, NWO 2000. But it was so impactful. They just kept trying to recreate that magic. So NWO for number one.
Oh, that's me. Okay. So I gotta do something for 1 second, right? Because I think, with all the respect, all this is well deserved that I say this and play this.
I mean, we can't talk straight in the barbershop. Then where can we talk straight? Can't talk straight nowhere.
Where did Meg go?
Did he disappear? How did he vanish?
I know, right? Where did he go?
Barbershop, you know that ain't nobody.
Oh, there he is.
You talk about whoever and whatever, whenever you want to in the barbershop.
And I played that because I felt like anybody's opinion is yours. I believe in having logic and having stuff that goes and makes sense. The New Day, because the WWE, people like them, hate them right now. You want to? They're still the number one thing in the day. But the New Day is the number one fraction of all time, and they are a faction, Chris, because the Fabulous Freebirds were considered a horseman. Were considered a faction because of how the tag team matches and the 6-man tag team matches all went. The New Day has had outside of Woods right now, which I think Woods will get it, are all world champions. The merchandise selling alone, it's NWO, DX, and PAX. I would venture to say if they probably passed them both in merchandise sales. Again, why? Because the world we live in, right? It's like, but you can have a platinum artist like Doja Cat, and who the fuck is that? Yeah, I said it, y'all. So because she's cute, she sucks. Okay. I said it.
Damn, I don't mind her.
I said what I said.
Music. I don't love her, but I don't mind her music.
I don't even know who the hell she is. Thank you. I thought I was the only one. Go ahead.
Okay. It's like saying I love Juice WRLD. Like, the fuck is that? What's a Juice WRLD?
That is.
Okay. If I'm saying that everything that goes to the culture, to everything that's a faction in professional wrestling that they own, the sheer lot of the New Day. You can't get out of, and I'm not talking about individually. Like, other groups have been individually better than the New Day, right? But as a faction, as a team, they have not had a cent of dissension amongst them. They're the only faction to never break up ever, or even have a close to having a breakup. They've been who they were from day one when everybody wanted to be Nation of Domination 2.0, and that's not what them brothers wanted. Them brothers wanted to be different. They wanted to be themselves. And the fact that Vince lets this go on, that's another big thing here. Vince will kill you if you're not making him money. Why the Hurt Business didn't last? Because none of you motherfuckers bought t-shirts. I did. I don't even like the new, I have all my New Day shirts are the ones that are, to me, speaking to me. All that color stuff, that ain't me. I didn't buy them. But motherfuckers are buying them. They got their own tag team belt that sold out. I was there when it sold out in minutes. By far the New Day for me, number one overall, because the people who laid the pipe for them or laid the way for them let this all happen.
Before I say my number one, I want to recognize a few things. One, this is Doja Cat.
I know who the fuck she is.
Not you.
Oh.
This is Doja Cat. Two, it was Battleground 2003 where Cody Rhodes and Dustin Rhodes got their jobs back from the Shield. So I was incorrect.
You went and Googled it, right? You say you didn't have to.
No, Ruben fact checked it and sent me the YouTube. So
way to go, Ruben.
My number one, if it's not so obvious right now, would be none other than D-Generation X.
Break it down.
I'm not going to go too much into it because we're at our limit. However, I will say this: D-Generation X also NWO changed the game. DX took it to a different level, and it was very hard to do at that time. But like I said, you don't have to watch wrestling at that time to be doing a couple of these, right? Everybody in the late 90s to early 2000s were doing these to their teachers and getting expelled or suspended, or their parents, or their friends, or their friend's sister. It was unbelievable. Everybody was doing the sucking. Their popularity was at a big all-time heights, and people, just like the Shield now, people still always clamor. Even when we go to NXT now, right? And DX come out, as old as they look and are. Shout out to Shawn Michaels. And with all due respect when I say that. But as old as they look and are now, when they come out, still the biggest pop of the night, by far. If they come out on Monday Night Raw on Monday, still the biggest pop of the night, by far. And they could be down there in a wheelchair. As long as they do this a few times, they're fine. They can sell glow sticks, t-shirts. They will always be over. Every time they do a retro episode, DX has to show up. It's a requirement. So because of that, I will always give all the credit in the world to D-Generation X. Wrestling Doll, you said your number one was the Hurt Business. I have to tell you, the only thing that hurt was my heart when you said that, because you were saying it was in the comments, and I was like, what the fuck is she going to pick? That's what I was thinking.
What do you think I was going to say? Toxic Attraction?
I was hoping you weren't going to say Toxic Attraction. He said Hurt Business. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. This faction was around for 3 months, right? And the only people remember about it is Bobby Lashley. Now, it was a good faction. I was entertained by them. But to put them above DX, NWO, Main Event Mafia, Four Horsemen, Bullet Club,
you realize
Shield,
most of those, I have no idea who they are, right?
You do know New Day.
Yes.
And you put them above the New Day.
Can I switch it?
No, it's too late. Y'all fucked up now. Ron.
Okay, fine.
You have a rebuttal.
You can rebuttal. I don't care.
That's right. That's what I'm talking about. Stick to your thing. I don't really rebuttal half of stuff because she just started watching wrestling. These are the people that she knows. So I just don't.
That's why. Now,
I would have picked new.
I would have picked education. I got you, Barb.
I wish you'd have had. I wish the network would have been around still. Like it is, but it ain't.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Peacock sucks as a. And I did that. I respect it. I hate the new W network. If you could go back and watch the old and just. Some of those, and I'm not talking about going back as far as me in the golden 80s of wrestling and stuff like that, but like just that. To me, I think the best era of magical. I think the best era in professional wrestling was the Ruthless Aggression era. Personally, it had everything in it.
It was the perfect mix between now.
That's what birthed Evolution
and Attitude Era.
Right. So,
perfect.
But
here's a fun fact: I wasn't a fan of Evolution. I never was a fan of Evolution.
I'm a Triple H mark, so.
I respect all the wrestlers in it. You can't help but to respect all the wrestlers in it. But I was always so bored by Evolution because they dominated way too much.
Yeah, they were. It's a lot of good factions.
It got annoying here.
I think a lot of people. I think some of you guys in the chat room, in my opinion, just putting stuff up there. You know what I mean? Like I give Wrestling Doll more credit because she's new to this, so she's gonna watch what and if she wants to switch the two, I get it. You know what I mean? She's going what she's watching now and what she knows. But some of you guys in there have watched wrestling, and to say Toxic Attraction or I even let Mad Dog go, but Mad Dog, you've been watching this longer than her. So to say the Inner Circle number 2, Jesus Christ, brother, you need an enema.
Elvis, the only reason why you're saying Toxic Attraction is number 1 is because of how hot they are. That's it.
See, people don't understand what's hot. What actually hot mean? Body hot or face hot? I've seen some of their faces up close, and they got some craters.
Oh.
Toxic Attraction number 1. It was from Raw. Cody and Goldust got the job back on Raw. Yeah, it was pay-per-view. Yeah. Cody pinned Seth Rollins.
I got some good ass shots though.
I didn't have to Google the answer either. I did because I wanted to. Tell them Knox New Day for number 1. The New Day achieved what they achieved without breaking up. Doja trash. My number 1 is the Shield. WWE had lighting in the bottle with those guys. It's a collective. The New Day never betrayed each other. Chris is wrong, baby. They need to change the Freebird rule to the New Day rule. I disagree with that. DX is better with Rick Rude in China. That's arguable. I think they were much more of a main event faction when it was the Rick Rude in China, but I think their heightened of entertainment was actually when they had the New Age Outlaws, which is a very underrated tag team now. They didn't withstand.
They're one of the best tag teams of all time. Is the New Age Outlaws.
Oh my God, the New Age Outlaws were fantastic.
I probably put them 4 or 5.
They were really good, and they were so entertaining from their entrance, which didn't have pyro or anything like that. But Road Dogg, who's one of the most underrated people on the mic, so underrated on the mic. That man can entertain like no other. Well, and people still every day I left school, I was like, "Oh, you didn't know." Mm-hmm. Loved it. Battleground 2000, mean you mean 13, whatever. My decades are all mixed up. DX is better work crew than trying to send a message. What? What are you saying? DX is number 1. If DX makes ice cream, I will buy it. What? Hurt Business. The Four Horsemen were big just to have the merchandise selling. How could you ever have Hurt Business over New Day? Who else invaded WCW? Nobody. DX did. That makes sense. Elvis, why are you saying Toxic Attraction is number 1? It's like Stone Cold asking what's your favorite match. You say Melina versus Alicia Fox. How did you all not mention the Corporation? Because the Corporation is not a top 5.
Melina Fox, Alicia Fox and Melina were dope.
SES.
Straight Edge Society.
Yeah, I know, but who put that? The best version of Four Horsemen was Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Chris Benoit, and Steve Mongo McMichael.
Get the hell out of here, Frankie. What are you, 12?
I love.
Oh my God.
I love
Billy McMichaels. Are you fucking kidding me? I appreciate you, brother. Keep listening. Listen, I'm a lot to handle, but come on, man. Keep it. Come on, man. Come on, man. Mongo, I just said any faction of the Horsemen but Mongo McMichaels.
The original DX with HBK, Triple H, Rick Rude, and China were the best version of me. They were the most vulgar, I would say, too. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for us here at Unpopular Review Specials, which we're going to try to have a little bit more of. But top 5 factions, that is the Wrestling Doll. I'm the exec consultant. That's Bad Guy Jack, and that's the head of the table, Mike Knox. Thanks so much for joining us. Join us tomorrow for an episode of Friday Night Smackdown with, I'm not sure who, but a Wrestling Doll should be there, and possibly the administrator. We don't know. He does a job. All right. Thank you so much for watching us here tonight, and we will see you next time right here at Unpopular Review. Good night, everybody.